I did a tutorial on this look. It is a rose neutrals inspired. I definitely was inspired by this cut-off sweater thingamajig. It is. I mean, it's like, it has a hood. Okay, that's not a good look. We'll put that back down. But I was inspired by this little hoodie situation, and I wanted to do more, you know, rose tone neutrals. Stay tuned, keep on watching for the deets on this look. I already have my brows on because I don't have any drugstore brow products right now, so I can't really use them in the video. So put them on, and then we're just gonna go ahead and get started with everything else. Jumping right into it, I'm gonna go ahead and prep my skin with the Good Molecules moisturizer. It's silicone free, and I just use a pump and I go ahead and apply all over. This moisturizer feels super lightweight, and it says it's a priming moisturizer, and I do feel like it does like add like a smoothing texture over the skin. I don't know if you can get this at the drugstore per se, but it is drugstore price. It's $14, and it's full of wholesome, good ingredients for your skin. So now that I have my face primed, I'm just gonna go ahead and let that sit while I do my eyeshadow. I am very interested in this. So this is from e.l.f. It's their new Putty eye primer based on their Putty face primer. I'm hoping that I really like this. I got the shade white. They do have skin tone colors. I just wanted to grab white because, well, I haven't used a white base in a while. So this is what it looks like. Just like that, and I'm gonna just use my nail. Oh, it's actually pretty firm. Thought it would kind of pick up really easily. So I'm gonna grab a little bit to start with and then go from there and see if I need to add any more. I'm gonna warm it up in my fingers because it's really firm. It's firmer than I thought it would be. So I just wanna make sure that it blends on my lid without having to tug. So I'm just warming it up. And it is becoming very creamy, thankfully. Then I'm just gonna apply all over. I'm gonna keep this more so on the lid and stay away from my brow bone because I don't want to have a white brow bone. That was 2007, Linda. This is very easy to blend. I'm just adding products slowly because I don't want to have to try to remove it if it's too much. So I have a ton left on this finger. I'm just using this finger to blend out, and then I'll put some more on if I need more. So this is what my lids are looking like. They aren't tacky. It does look a little dry in some areas, but I think it's because of my eczema. I do have really dry patches of skin on my eyelids right now, so I don't know if I can base it off of the actual product or it being my skin. But I will say, if you do have drier skin like I do, when you have those eczema flares there, I mean, I can see it, but I think when I put the eyeshadow on, it won't be a huge deal. Let's go ahead and test that theory out and see if the shadows help cover up like the dryness in my eye. I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution palette. This one is called Forever Flawless. It has a very good blend, I would say, of mattes and metallics. I'm going to go ahead and lay down a matte to help blend everything together. This shade is called Sweetheart. It's a pinky nude. Just going to grab a little bit and tap off any excess. I'm going to put that into my crease. The shadow is a little bit powdery. I'm going to pick up some more and see if I can get it to blend a little bit more evenly. I can see there's a little bit of patches in between. Second application of the shadow, a lot better. I'm going to go ahead and pick up this shade here. It's called Nymph. It's a plum toned matte shadow in the outer corner. So here's the application of the shadow on the outer corner. I'm going to take a little bit more of it and place it on the inner third of my eye as well, just to create that halo effect. I'm going to use that blending brush that I used earlier for my crease with no extra product. I'm just going to go ahead and blend out the edges of the shadow. I'm going to actually grab a tiny bit more of that primer, and I'm just going to use, honestly, I'm just going to put my finger in it. And then I'm just gonna tap it on the center of my eye to help create a cleaner base for whatever shadow I choose to put there. So I'm super curious about these blended looking metallics here. I'm gonna use this one here. It's called Flaunt. It looks like it has pink and silver in it. I'm gonna go ahead and go into that shadow, tap off any excess. It does have a lot of fallout, so be careful. And then place this on the center of the eye. This is what we have so far. I'm going to just grab a tiny bit of Sweethearts again and go ahead and make sure everything's blended up here. And then I'm going to finish the other eye and I'll be... Alright, now that we're matching on both sides, I'm going to grab a little bit of this shade here. It is a warm nude. It's called Sensation. Fluffy shadow brush. I'm just going to go ahead and place that underneath my brow bone as a highlight shade on both sides. I'm going to take that flat shader brush and I'm going to grab Nymph, the Deep Plum, and stick that underneath my eyes. And I'm just going to copy the color gradient on the top, so inner third and outer third, and then right underneath I'll go ahead and use that same metallic. So to finish up the eyes, I'm going to use the Morphe Dark Room eyeliner. It's just in black on my waterline. I'm going to use the Maybelline Snapscara in Black Cherry, so it's like a dark plum. And I will finish off by applying my House of Lashes in Smoky Muse. And I will be right back. The brush is doing a really good job of, one, finding my almost non-existent lashes, and then two, combing the product through them so it's not clumping up and giving me spider lashes. I will say it's mostly separating my lashes, maybe giving it a tiny bit of volume, but it is not lengthening them much. Here's a mascara applied, and then we have no mascara, so there's the difference. I'd say this is a good drugstore mascara. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye. The glue that I'm using is by Allure. It dries super quickly, and I can just literally apply right after applying the glue to my lashes. Eyes are done. Moving on to our face. I'm going to use the Born to Glow NYX foundation and concealer. I have not used these products yet. These are brand spanking new. I tried to do my best off the website, so I hope these colors match me. What I'm actually going to use for my primer is from Joah Beauty. It's the Glow Activator Primer. It has little gold specks suspended in the primer itself. It has a really nice light, like silicone texture. Super nice, lightweight, and smoothing. Here's the foundation. It comes in a squeeze tube. This claims for this foundation are that it is a buildable medium coverage that lasts all day. It's the best foundation for dewy glow. It's cruelty-free, vegan, and it comes in 45 shades. Hopefully this is my shade. The shade I'm using is Golden Honey. I'm gonna grab a tiny bit. Oh, this looks a little bit orange. We're gonna make it work though. All right. So I have about this much product. I would say this is honestly like a pump, and I'm gonna grab it with the Colourpop blending sponge and apply it. Wow, this is orange. One sucky thing about drugstore makeup, you know, you never know what you're gonna get, because the bottle, even if it's clear, frosted, whatever, your foundation might not look like what it looks like on the outside of the packaging. So, you know, you just do the best that you can. This is why though I like to buy any drugstore complexion products at Ulta if possible. If they have it there, I try to buy it there so that I can exchange it, because I don't really think CVS or Walgreens are gonna be as happy to exchange some of these products for you. I don't actually think that they do, honestly. Aside from the color, the foundation doesn't feel heavy. It looks nice and fresh. It doesn't look overly dewy, you know, where you feel like an oil slick, and it doesn't feel dewy. It doesn't feel tacky or anything like that. So it's very comfortable. It's not clinging to my dry patches terribly. I have next to my break around my chin as well, so there is a lot of dry skin there, and it's not doing too bad there. Not at all. I can run for president right now, you guys. I might actually get the job. We need to fix this. I'm gonna try to make it work by using the concealer to kind of even it out. It is in the shade Beige. I think it might be a squeeze tube too. So just off. Oh, and it is a squeeze tube, but it has a little like puff applicator at the top. So I'm gonna squeeze lightly. Oh wow, this is probably gonna work. If I just mix the two, we might be friends. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a little bit of the foundation and we're gonna mix it together. And we're gonna be friends and we're gonna be happy. Oh yeah. This is more my speed, guys. I mean, with 45 shades, I'm sure there's something a lot closer than this. I just shopped online, so it didn't, you know, it wasn't a good way to base my skin tone off of and find the best shade for me. But that is, like I said, the blessing and the curse of shopping online and shopping for drugstore products, because it's really hard to find a foundation when you can't test it out. This looks way better, like way better. No, like my skin looks amazing. Like it looks like skin. But dewy skin, you know, healthy skin. Yeah, wow. Good coverage. I don't know if the concealer has anything to do with that, but the combination of the two looks really good. I'm at a medium to full coverage. If I added a tiny bit more, like the excess that was still on my hand, I would definitely be at a full coverage, but I'm going to leave it at where it is. The color is just looking way better. I'm happy with it. Still, same thing, even with the concealer added, I don't feel heavy, I don't feel cakey, and I don't see it clinging to my dry patches. I do have the dry patches, but it is not clinging and accentuating them. So happy with that. Now I'm going to use a concealer to highlight. I don't like this because the cap is really tight, so it does touch the product, and if there's any excess around here, it's gonna dry up around your product in the cap. So that's one thing I don't like about that. I'm not huge on squeeze tubes in general because I feel like I tend to be super heavy-handed, and that's partly my, you know, my problem, because if I could be a little bit lighter-handed, maybe I wouldn't have those issues, but I just would prefer being able to, like, you know, use a wand and be able to scrape off any excess product. So far, so good. It looks really healthy underneath my eyes. I almost don't want to set it with powder, but because it is dewy, it makes me kind of scared to not set it. So I will set it, but really very lightly because it looks good. It's very dewy looking. Ah. I love it. Okay, the powder I'm going to use is the Colourpop setting powder in Banana. And I'm going to really tap off the excess of this powder because I really don't want to take away from this natural glow. So just lightly tap, 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 just to make sure it's blended though. You can see, like, look at the glow. Oh, yes. I'm going to set very lightly with the Colourpop No Filter Press Powder. I was going to use this Ulta bronzer, but it's way too light. It's not going to show up on my skin. So I'm going to use this Blush and Bronze palette. It is by Joah Beauty, and I'm just going to use the bronzer in it. I'm running my brush very generously along this product too. Honestly, this might be a bust. Okay, it's a bust. It does show up, but it's honestly, it's so light that you can't really even tell. I'm just gonna even it out and then add blush. What I'm gonna use is Rose de Oro from Milani. It looks like these. It's super pretty. And since I'm not wearing a lot of bronzer, I'm just gonna apply more blush, not brush. I don't wear blush too often, more prominently than I do bronzer, but this is a good look. I like it. Let's tie this look together with some lip products. They're both new to me. One is from LA Girl Perfect Precision Lip Pencil in the shade Chocolate. And then this is from L'Oreal in the shade Lady Toffee. Oh, it's one of these retractable guys. Let's go ahead and line. Now that I have a lip line, I am going to go in with this color. The lip was great. I mean, it's not super drying. It's a matte lip crayon. It looks good. It's super comfortable. I think my favorite thing that I used today definitely has to be the complexion products. I'm really happy that I got the mixture to work for my complexion because it allows me to appreciate it more that it's not orange. But no, I mean, like, my skin looks smooth. It looks healthy, dewy. It's not accentuating my dry patches, and that is an issue for me when I do have, you know, my eczema flares or breakouts, whatever you want to call them. I do get very dry in certain areas of my face, especially around my eyes and around my mouth. There's two places that people look at when they're looking at you and talking to you. Those are focal points, and it does make you very self-conscious. So I get very excited when I can find products that will work while that kind of stuff is going on. And definitely the NYX Born to Glow foundation and concealer, I definitely recommend to you guys. Try it out. Go to your local drugstore or your Ulta. For the eyeshadow palette, the quality of the shadows, they're not super soft or anything like that, and the payoff, you're going to have to run the brush over a few times more than you would your average palette just to get the pigmentation that I got. But aside from that, I'm glad that there wasn't heavy fallout. I still got pigmentation. It wasn't super patchy, and the primer did a great job of being a base for these shadows. I didn't use a lot of it, and I got good payoff, and it's not tacky, and it's not drying. It did its job. It primed my lids for my shadows. So good job, e.l.f. on the primer. I like the face primer as well. If you haven't tried the Putty primer, definitely give it a go. Overall, I'm loving this drugstore beat. I'm going to take this drugstore beat to the drugstore right now because I'm actually going to go look for a couple new products to try and test out that I've been eyeing. I'm definitely going to try to look for brow stuff because I realized I really don't have that, and maybe a good bronzer for my skin tone. Yes, we are going to try to find that today. I did see your guys' requests on a lot of my complexion videos lately to have my shades in other foundations listed in the info box. I am going to go ahead and do that for you. I'm going to try to keep it updated with as many brands as possible that I find are very close to my skin tone or match me perfectly. I will list them down below so that you have something to reference. If there's anything else, any other requests like that you'd like me to start putting in the info box, or if you would like me to review certain drugstore products or anything like that, please list them in the comments down below and I will do my best to accommodate them. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy the rest of your day. La 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 la, Elmo's World. I'm Alexis Goldfish, his crayons too. That's Elmo's World. Okay, I skipped a lot of that song, but I forgot it. This lip crayon. You guys go try it out, okay? Matte, L'Oreal, Lady Toffee. Okay, I'm leaving now. Bye.